let's talk about a trade rumor that's gaining traction and could shake up our Detroit Lions. Our pass rush started strong, led by Aiden Hutchinson, but the news about Marcus Davenport, who had a promising start, cooled off with his groin injury. Now, it gets interesting. The New York Jets have a problem on their hands. Edge rusher Hassan Reddick is holding out, and it seems they're considering trading him. And guess who's emerging as a potential destination? That's right, our Lions. And don't forget, if you're not subscribed to the Lions News Fan Report channel, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates about our team. We are in this together this season, so keep roaring for the blue and silver of Honolulu and stay tuned for more exclusive content. But hold on, folks. Is this trade rumor as good as it seems? Let's break it down. Christopher Knox from Bleacher Report suggested a trade where we get Reddick in exchange for our Millie Vinay and a third-round pick. Sounds tempting, right? A proven pass rusher for a future pick. But here's the catch. Why would we give the Jets exactly the same pick they used to get Reddick? It's like buying a used car for the original factory price. Now, Mike Pton from Auto Sports has another idea. He suggests sending a fifth-round pick and James Houston to the Jets for Reddick. A bit more acceptable, but is it worth it? That's the big question. Do we really need Reddick? Sure, we're in a Super Bowl window and have some salary cap space. But we can't forget that Reddick wants to be well paid, and very well paid at that. Are we ready to open our wallets that wide? Plus, we have our own young talents. Hutchinson is playing great, and Houston is showing a lot of potential. Is it worth risking the development of these guys by bringing in a veteran player? So, Lions fans, what do you think? Should we invest in Reddick? Is he the missing piece for our Super Bowl run? Or is it better to bet on the growth of our own players? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. Now, while you think about this possible trade, let's look at what the future holds for our team. The season is just beginning, and we've seen a more aggressive and confident Lions defense. Aiden Hutchinson has already proven to be a key piece in our scheme, and his presence in the pass rush is only growing. But what if we brought someone like Hassan Reddick into the equation? Reddick has experience, skill, and would undoubtedly strengthen our defense even further. However, the price for him might mean sacrificing part of our future, whether in terms of draft picks or developing our young talents. It's the classic dilemma, a bet on the present or investing in the future. And we can't forget the impact this potential addition could have on the locker room. A big name like Reddick brings expectations and, with that, pressure on our young players. Would they feel pressured or learn from the experience of a veteran? That's something our coaching staff would certainly consider. Another important point is the financial factor. We have cap space, but how much are we willing to spend to bolster the defense right now? We can't ignore that Reddick is seeking a hefty contract, which could limit our flexibility in future market moves. Thinking long-term is also part of the game. Finally, the question that remains, would this trade really take us to the Super Bowl? We're talking about a talented pass rusher, no doubt. But is he the piece that will give us that extra edge to compete with the NFL giants? Remember, in football, it's the sum of all parts that makes a championship team. So, Lions fans, we want to know, would you bet on this trade or prefer to keep developing the talent we already have on the roster? Share your opinion in the comments. We want to hear from each of you. As a Lions fan, I'm torn about this trade. On one hand, Hassan Reddick is a top-notch pass rusher and could undoubtedly make an immediate impact on our defense. We have a Super Bowl window open, and adding someone like him seems tempting, especially with Marcus Davenport's injury. Reddick's experience could further strengthen our pass rush, creating a defensive front that would give any opposing quarterback trouble. However, there are some concerns that make me think twice. First, the cost. If we really have to give up draft picks or young players like James Houston, it could be risky. Houston is still developing and has shown potential. Betting on his growth could be more advantageous in the long run than spending draft capital or risking the team's financial balance with a high contract for Reddick. Another point is that our team already has a solid young core, with Aiden Hutchinson leading the pass rush. Would bringing in a veteran help or end up blocking the development of these promising talents? Sometimes the best path is to trust the players who are already evolving and let the on-field chemistry continue to grow. My final opinion, unless the cost is truly fair and doesn't harm our future, I prefer to see the team invest in the talent we already have and build a strong and cohesive roster for the long term. Reddick is a great player, but for me, the strategy should be sustainable growth, not just an immediate gamble. Of course, if he comes at the right price, we could be talking about an even more formidable Lions defense.